Welcome back. My name is Ashley, and this is the Black Sheep Christian Podcast. Today, I have my sister in Christ, Nala.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for joining
Of
us.
course, originally when I found out you had a podcast, I was like, okay, I want to be a guest. But I was like, do you just ask to be a guest on people's podcasts? So yeah. So thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you too because just as a sister, now we will probably be giggling and cackling just like what I did with Akira.
Yeah.
And eventually the three of us will come together. But yeah, Nala and I, we met at UD and we have something in common. We are sisters in Christ. And with that, we have grown with each other.
Yeah.
With our experiences and just and your strengths and with my weaknesses and how beautiful that they just mesh together. So
I know. I think about that from time to time because everyone has their own specific and unique walk with Christ and their own journey.
yeah,
But with you, I feel like we have similar characteristics that we want to enhance and similar things we want to work on, and similar struggles we have. So
Yeah.
it's one thing to be aligned with someone who has similar beliefs, but then when you find someone who has similar struggles, makes the walk a little bit easier. I'm not looking for the easiest walk, obviously, because you want it to be difficult. But
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, is there anybody out there who's feeling the same way I am? So when I come into your office sometimes, usually we're just like chit-chatting when we probably should be working. Usually Ashley's working. I'm usually not working. Ashley's able to multitask. I can't. Like if I'm working and we're talking, I gotta choose. And usually I choose talking. But yeah, I find so much comfort in conversing with you.
Yeah, same. And when I converse with you, it's almost like as if I'm trying to describe the feeling. Like I know we have an age gap, but I don't feel that way when I speak with you.
Yeah.
With some people, it's like like you got some growing up to do, baby girl.
Like you're a child, get away.
But with you, I feel like you are just a young old / lady just living
Aw.
in your soul.
Thank you. I take that as a compliment because people always tell me you're like an old lady, and at first I would take offense to it. Be like, you're the grandma of the group.
Yeah.
When I danced competition, we did the Addams Family, and then like how they have Morticia, and then
Yeah.
all the different characters, and they made me the grandma.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are y'all throwing shade or what? Or like, no, you're just like the grandma of the group. And I was 16 at the time, so I'm like, y'all calling me old, but now
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, it's just the type of energy that you have. I mean, like grandmas, well, a stereotypical grandma, a good stereotypical grandma, because there's some crazy grandmas out
Yeah.
there.
To say the least.
Like a stereotypical grandma just brings comfort. Her soul is just like fine wine. You know, you can sip it and you can feel or smell the notes in it and just appreciate the journey that it went through to be where it is today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm about to call my grandmoms now. I'm about to do a dual FaceTime, whatever. Be like, hey.
Grandma, you like fine wine.
Right. Like, where'd you learn that from? That's so funny.
Oh, but yeah, with Nala and I, our journeys really spoke to each other, not just that we worked with UD, but with our church experiences. And I commented how I church hop, or I've had church hop. I'm getting a little old for church hopping.
No such
But-
thing. Simply no such thing.
But when you're like, hey, that's cool, because I always felt that it was wrong.
Right.
Like it wasn't, I don't know, kosher to be hopping around from church to church. But when you're like, oh, that's cool. And I was kind of like, you know what, that is kind of cool because, one thing that I would like to do is a series of different denominations.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yep. And I think, as Christianity as a whole, we know that there are different denominations, viewpoints of the Bible, but it's really not talked about. Like, you'll learn a denomination just by talking to someone. Well, that's how I learned. Like, how the Lutherans, what do they be doing?
Yeah.
What are the Presbyterians doing?
Right.
The Methodists. And so you kind of learn just a piece from each denomination, but you really don't get a whole picture of it sometimes.
And even when you think you have a decent understanding or picture, usually it's just based on biases coming from other denominations or what other denominations thinks goes on within that particular denomination. So a lot of the times when your basic teaching of different denominations, like for me, comes from a Catholic school, they're going to tell you what they want you to hear. And that's nothing against Catholicism. That's just how humans are. We tell you what you want to hear. So you have to really find strength and patience to explore that on your own and to do your own research. It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of discernment. There's so many characteristics I feel like you will enhance if you don't already have those characteristics when you're exploring different denominations. And even like you said, within each denomination, it can be the same denomination, but you still might have very varying beliefs or different ways that you read the Bible. And I find that even just being Catholic, I find that I read the Bible. I've started to read the Bible different than other people who say they're Catholic, and they might read it differently than I do. They interpret it differently. So they start from different parts of the book, and certain parts give them more comfort than they do for others. So it's just there's so much even within one denomination that when you start to sprout out, you learn so much.
Yeah.
So that's amazing that you're doing that. I feel like there's just going to be so many stories you can tell, so many experiences you'll be able to share. And anybody can do it. I mean, we got Google, so ChatGPT. Like when you said that, I was like, wait, like let me start looking into that. Because with Dayton, there's churches everywhere.
Yes.
Literally everywhere. And I was like, no, like, oh, they're gassing it. They're just saying there's churches everywhere. There's not really churches everywhere. Every corner you take, boom, there's a church right there. So I'm like, y'all really were not lying. So to see how many churches there are and how the basic common belief is to believe in God, but there's different beliefs that are built upon that.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many differences and so many variations.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do you think you'll church hop based on what you learn about?
I think I will a little bit. I think I will. Like the other day, my dad was like, yeah, I can't remember what the conversation, but he was like, yeah, I used to grow up in a Presbyterian church. And I was like, what? I thought you were Southern Baptist all this time.
Yeah, I would have said we were talking about him, but I didn't even know that.
I was like, what? He's like, but now I'm Southern Baptist. How did this journey happen? Yeah, I need to ask more questions.
Oh my gosh, wait.
I need to ask more questions.
He was just keeping secrets like it's nothing. Yeah, I'm actually not from this country. Like what? Oh, secrets. I think they're things because it's just like our parents, our grandparents, they grow up with their experiences and sometimes they don't share them because they don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big deal.
It is a pretty big deal.
You know, if he feels comfort where he is now, that's amazing for him, but there's still a journey that he had to, endure. And I'm sure he's still on that journey because your walk with Christ never ends.
Yeah.
So no matter how old you are, that's so crazy. Though.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see.
I am too, because I need to go further because my grandma, like all of the sisters, daughters, they couldn't wear pants. And so by the time they became adults, a lot of them did, except for my grandma. So she continued to wear skirts.
Gotcha.
To this day. Sadly, she has dementia, so I can't have that type of conversation with her. Be like, why and how? But but the majority of them just ended up changing their wardrobe. I don't know if they changed their religion, but they couldn't do it. And it's interesting because it kind of makes sense to me because as a kid, I was not allowed to wear pants in church. Oh, so they allowed me to wear pants like to school and stuff. Right. But in church, I've always wore dresses or skirts. Yeah. And then it wasn't until I was an adult that I started wearing pants. And then it felt weird because I started wearing jeans. Like I felt like I was sinning. Like, I'm going to wear jeans today because I don't feel like dressing up. And then I was just kind of like, go to the church door, like, I know I'm not going to burn, but
they might burn me.
This feels weird.
That's so funny, and I guess that's not something you even consider until you do become older. Right. And start to look back on it, because, you probably just thought, oh, we're going to church. Of course, my parents want me to wear a dress or a skirt. But now you're like, no, there was a genuine reason. I mean, obviously, if the reason was they just want you to dress a certain way, that's understandable. But there were actual, I don't even know how to explain it. There was like an actual legitimate, valid reason behind that as to why. And it was deeper than what you thought.
Right. Or maybe it could just been like my parents were like, we need to look nice. You know, don't wear your school clothes, don't wear your outdoor clothes. I don't know. But, you know, now that we're having this conversation, it's like, there's more questions that I need to ask. Like, why was I not allowed?
Right. Tell me the truth. Wait, that has me thinking. It's like the opposite for me. So growing up, we took Come As You Are very seriously. Like I'm talking like if I had sweatpants on in church, like it was cool. It wasn't frowned upon because I'm Catholic. So, and I went to Catholic school from pre-K to 5th grade. So like 3 years old to 10. That sounds like the right range. And the school I went to, it was in South Philly. So it was at that time they still had the sisters teaching us. Like it was very much like old school, what you see on television. And obviously we had uniforms and stuff like that. But when we would go to church, I mean, you could pretty much wear what you wanted. Yeah. And I just now when I go to church and I'm meeting new people who go to different churches of different denominations, they wouldn't even dream of wearing jeans to church. Yeah. Even my roommate, she's Catholic, and we would go to mass together on campus. Even what she would wear would be more formal and it would be nicer than what I was wearing. Yeah. And I'm like, maybe I'm the issue. Like I'm coming up in pants or sweatpants looking a mess, you know, and everyone's dressed nicely, but that just wasn't something people were focused on. If you even made it to church with clothes with all the kids, you know, that was an accomplishment. So I appreciated it that they weren't focused on clothing because, like I said, to even get up that morning and to get everybody there safely was probably what they were focused on. But now that I have the wherewithal to be like, maybe I shouldn't dress up in sweatpants, you know, like I'm a college student, so like obviously I'm broke. But am I truly broke? You know, like if I'm paying money to go out to eat, I could pay money to go get a couple skirts. Yeah. You know, if I'm paying $50 to get a seafood boil, I can go get a new Bible. Yeah. You know, so you gotta realign your priorities. And we like to say we're broke, but it's like we're truly not. We're broke in a sense of we pay for what we want to pay for when we want to pay for it. So I've been trying to alter my wardrobe and wear more appropriate outfits that not even appropriate, but just I don't know what the word is.
Would it be like if I'm reading you correctly, because I can't think of the word either, so I'm going to describe it. Is it something that is not like dignified, but something that glorifies what God created?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Oh, yeah. We'll go with that. No, pretty much, yeah. And just putting effort into it and waking up and taking time to look presentable for church. Yeah. Because, I mean, there are times where I take more time to look presentable for other places. Like if I'm going to a concert, you're going to take 2 hours to get ready. So why can't I take 2 hours to get ready for church? Right. But then again, on the flip side, some people, because, you know, we say like come as you are, some people don't accept that. And they think if you're taking all this time to do makeup and to put all this into your looks and stuff like that, it's like are you truly focused on the word, or are you just worried about how you look? So it's difficult to find that balance. But since I've always been that person who hasn't really focused on how I dressed, now that I've come to try and focus a little more how I dress, I feel like I'm more worthy when I like step in to the church. Because I don't know. I just feel like I'm able to pay attention better. You know, when you look good and you feel good, you're able to perform well. So I feel like I'm able to pay attention more. I make sure I eat before I go to church too. Because when I go to church hungry, all I'm thinking about is food. And that's a horrible thing to admit. But I'll be like, Azariah, we need to stop and get something to eat because I'm not going to be able to sit in church. Yeah. What do you mean you're not going to be able to sit in church? I'm like, I'm starving and my stomach is growling. And when I should be focusing on James 5, I'm going to be thinking about a hoagie. So please give me something to eat. So just taking that time to prepare yourself before you go into the house of God. At least that's something I've been focusing on.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I like your skirt though.
Thank you. I actually got it from Goodwill.
Oh,
I know.
Very nice.
Thank you. Goodwill it's like one of those things as a kid we would always donate to, but we never went to buy from. And not because, you know, there was a reason. There wasn't like a distinct reason why we didn't. We just never did.
Right.
But now I go to Goodwill now because I'm like, this skirt probably costed $60 from wherever it's from, and I got it for $10. I think it might have even been cheaper.
Yeah.
I don't really buy anything for full price. I just don't, because why am I paying $60 for a shirt?
Right.
Like what? I'll just wait till it's marked down or until someone else has had it and then they're ready to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Like this shirt is from Aerie and it was originally $50, I think. So I
Yeah.
waited till it was like 60, 70% off.
Good for you.
Thank you. I'm not doing that. I can't bring myself to do it.
I can understand.
Yeah.
I can understand. So
Ooh.
yeah.
Just
So
as-
this morning I woke up and I was like, Nala. I was Nala. So these colors, because you're more of a brown.
You think so?
I feel like you wear more brown. Am I wrong about that?
No, you're right. Yes. I had to think about it. I do. Yeah, I like neutral brown. I used to be like wearing black all the time. Wait, so I look inspired you?
I did. My look inspired. I was
And
like,
your
if I was,
sandals.
yes, I was Nala.
Stop. You look beautiful. I actually was going to comment on your outfit. I was like, there's a time and place. Let me wait. But your sandals are so cute. Where'd
Thank
you get
you.
them from?
Kohan. It was an outlet.
Ooh, Kohan has good
Yes,
shoes.
they do. They
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
I'm glad you went to the outlet. Because again,
of
I ain't
course.
buying Kohan, my aunt will buy them full price. I'm like, because
Yeah,
you got
no,
it.
no,
You
no,
work for
no.
IRS. Like, you got it. I go to UD for a living, so I don't have it. But do they have an outlet in Cincinnati?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, is that the one you
yep,
went to?
Yep, exactly.
I need to go there.
Yeah. So I got that, and then I got now it's kind of hidden, and it's funny because when I first went in there, there was like this space, and I was like, "What's going on with that space back there?"
Yeah.
It looks like as if nobody's not allowed to go back there,
Right.
but I boldly went back there, and so it's like clearance. So when you walk in, of course you're gonna have men's,
Yeah.
and then women's, and then there's this like this door area where you think like, oh, that's employees only.
Right.
But when you will look behind the wall from floor to ceiling, is clearance shoes.
What?
Yes.
Because why are they trying to hide it?
Girl.
That's another thing. Like, if they're... What?
Yeah. So what caught my eye was like there
yeah.
were shoes because, there's what do you call it? A register. And then there was like a stack of shoes that was like a distance. And that's what
Okay.
caught my eye. And I was like, well, those shoes look like on sale, but that space looks like employees. So I was like,
In the cut, like...
oh, yeah. So I went
Yeah.
in, and then my mom found me, and she went in, and then my
Ooh.
dad found me, and then other customers followed. They're like, we didn't know this was back here.
They trendsetters. Because why are you trying to hide it from us? Like, they're on sale for a reason.
Right.
So get rid of them.
Right.
The employees were like, yeah, we want these after we're done with our hours. So,
Yeah.
well,
so,
that's good that you found that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. If you ever decide to
Yeah.
check up there.
I'm going to have to.
Yeah.
I have to get Azariah to drive me because I don't drive. So
It's okay. It's all right.
he'll do it. I got to wait till I get paid. But
Okay. Yeah.
But I do
Yeah.
like your outfit. Banana Republic.
Of course, yes.
gosh.
Me and Banana are having we're going through a moment right now. This is actually from the men's.
Okay.
Banana, I am tired of the bland one color t-shirts. Why do the men get designs and women have to have like pink, blue, purple? Those are wonderful, Banana.
Right.
I do appreciate them, but I would like pattern.
Yeah.
Like Ralph Lauren, sometimes I like pattern. So so this is actually a men's shirt.
It's cute.
And then that lion that I wear from time to time, the blue one, that's also a men's shirt. Yeah, so I did one of those discoveries, walking around like, I don't like these. And I went to the men and I was like,
Oh, here's the
these
gold.
shirts. And then my mom came and then Jalen came.
You just put people on is what I'm hearing because you have, what was it, Kohan and then Banana Republic. I'm going to start following you if I go shopping.
Be like, look at these shirts.
Yeah. That's so funny.
And then my mom likes the men's shirts better than the women's because she likes how the sleeve goes down further.
Me too. Because why are they cutting out my armpits? Like, my armpits are out and they're cut off. Like, I'm sweating. I need my armpits. No. I agree. That's so irritating.
Yeah, so my mom likes the cut of how men's shirts go down
Okay.
than the women's shirts. So that's what comment that she said. I was looking for more designs and patterns, and Jay was just a Gen Z,
Yeah.
just being a Gen Z.
Right. What you like is what you like.
Right.
Yeah. No, I'm with your mom on that. That's how it is. I don't know if you guys have Primark here. Primark is, I'm pretty sure it originated in the UK. Because when I went to London for a class trip when I was 18. Yeah. When I was a senior in high school. But Primark is a store here, and it's a huge store, and it has like very affordable clothing. But the question is always like, how long is it going to last? And so I'm from Philly. So we have, anybody who is aware of the area, King of Prussia Mall, which is like one of the biggest malls in the country. Might be like the third largest mall in the country.
Oh, wow.
It's huge. It's massive. And it has Primark. And I will go there and I will go in the women's section. I would be like, okay, let me get a few shirts. Why do the sleeves stop at my collarbone? I don't get it. It's supposed to be a t-shirt.
Right.
Not a halter top.
Right.
And it would stop. I'm like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
So I'll go to the men's section.
Yeah.
Irritating. Yeah. But I'm grateful because I see how many stores and many sections there are for women or women clothing. And then sometimes like I see that there really aren't that much for like men. Certain stores are. But like when I go through the mall, there's so many stores that are geared towards women.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's kind of crazy. So I feel like it would be difficult to shop as a man.
Men's fashion is sad. I have to admit. Like
Yeah.
one day I was just sitting, I was like, I know y'all got these shirts from different stores, but all these shirts look like the same. Striped, square, the same colors, red, blue, put together.
Yup.
I'm like, men's fashion in America needs a revival.
Right.
And then they be all wearing the same khaki shorts. Come on, guys. Come on.
Like, did y'all shop together? Did you carpool? I'm confused. And that's not a knock on them. I mean, and then things that they think
they're
are
they're just getting what's available.
Right. And I understand that. And I shouldn't even say that because there are things that women typically wear where men are like, how can you wear those? Like, I don't know if you know, like bubble skirts.
Yeah.
I got a bubble skirt before I knew that it was just that hated piece of fashion.
Yeah.
I thought it was cute, you know? Like, I got it from Aerie, and it was buy one, get one free. So, of course, I was going to get that because their skirts, again, are $60 when I could literally make it for $20.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, let me get it. And then I went on TikTok, and men were like, if a woman's wearing a bubble skirt, I know to stay away. Well, I'm like, I have a boyfriend, so stay away anyway. But I didn't know that people didn't like the bubble skirts. And I'm like, dang. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess they're just happy to wake up and put some clothes on.
Maybe, but I need men's fashion to have a revival. I feel like they deserve a revival.
Yeah.
I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what it is, but yeah.
I know. There's always trends for women, and then men are just just there.
They're just there.
Yeah.
Exactly. They're just left behind.
I don't get it. It's like, how can you expect them to do better when they're not given the resources to do better?
Right.
You know?
And they're some good looking brothers, but they have to depending upon where you live, like the stores or fashions are available to you. Like clearly I enjoy going to Columbus for shopping. I feel like it's my backyard or my front yard, whatever we call it.
You go to Easton Mall?
Yes.
I just went there for the first time. It's very nice.
It is very nice. Easton, the Polaris, because that one is like easier to get to, off the highway.
Right.
I enjoy those. In Maryland, there was quite a bit more with the malls and everything. Chicago,
I can't imagine.
Nashville, and then when you hear Dayton, it's just like,
oh, Fairfield, oh.
Wah, wah.
Yeah. They need to do better.
Right.
Because what?
Right.
But it's honestly, I appreciate the fact that the good malls are a trip away because I won't go there as often.
Yeah.
Like if I live close to Easton, you want to talk about actually being poor and broke. I genuinely wouldn't have any money because I would consistently be shopping.
You and me both.
And I can't do that.
You and me both.
And I mean, there's no shame. People always say, oh, it's time to spend money I don't have. And some people do that and that's cool. But it's like, should I buy groceries this week or should I go to Aerie?
I know.
But I don't know. Fashion is such a weird thing. And I find it crazy now that people genuinely will wear whatever they want from whatever generation or whatever decade. And people just find a way to make it fashionable, make it acceptable. But you can just wear so many different things of different decades. And I mean, people might talk trash, but like no one's truly going to care.
Right.
So yeah, I found out that my grandma still wore pantyhose. And I'm like,
I heard
I didn't know.
pantyhose is coming back.
Right. And I'm like, really? And I guess, I mean, I've never really wore pantyhose. And I danced growing up, so I always wore tights, which was the closest thing to pantyhose. She wears them underneath her pants. She wears them just with anything.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, shout out to you. Because it just gives more of a formal look, she says. And I get that.
Yeah.
Also, probably just like the job she has. Like, she works for the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania. So understandable that she's always dressed very nicely. And she's one of the few people of color in that office. So it's like, if you don't even dress a certain way, you're already, you know, looked down upon. God forbid a button's unloose. Oh my gosh. Like, calm down. But that's a different story. But yeah, she'll wear pantyhose with pants and she has flats on. And I'm like, there's like webbing in between your feet. And those are her pantyhose. It took me time to realize that. I just never understood. And I was like, it gives her that complete finished look.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
yeah.
We just went off on a tangent.
We really did.
But this is what we normally do anyways. We just start at point A and then we wrap around and then somehow we get back to point A.
I'm about to say it's a full circle.
It is a full circle with us. Oh goodness. Let's see here. I'm looking at my notes. Okay. Like we really went on we really went on a whole other level. Let me see here.
Notes down
oh, you did. That's
right.
But
I wanted to go based off what you were going to talk about.
No. Because we already talked about my notes last time.
I know, but I mean, it's your podcast, so I want to like.
But you're my guest.
True.
If you want Cheetos, have Cheetos. If you want fruits and vegetables, have fruits and vegetables.
I'll take the Cheetos.
Okay.
We talked about this, and I feel like I keep coming back to it. We're just talking about the Beatitudes, and I keep going back to Matthew 5.
Oh yes.
I was with my boyfriend and we were talking about it. Also, last night, what should I start with? Let me go back. Let me start with what happened last night.
Okay.
So I watched Grenfell Tower.
Oh yes.
Oh my gosh. Beyond sad.
Yes.
Beyond unfortunate. Angering. Like,
yes.
I just from the first like shot they showed of the tower, I was almost in tears because I was like, that's insane.
Yeah.
And I mean, I watched like Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, so like I would like to think I know a little bit about fires. I remember thinking, there's no way that tower should have gone up in flames as quick as it did. And that's what I thought when I first seen the first clip.
Yeah.
I was like, it's like someone literally just put gasoline on the tower and lit a flame.
Yes.
Like that's what it looked like.
And nobody was prepared. Like nobody. Like the residents, obviously, the firefighters, even the command center. Because they were like, they didn't have TV, so they couldn't, they didn't see what was going on. So it was like a failure at every step of the door.
Yes. And to see the scapegoating and the blaming of people and one company making a statement of blaming the next company.
Yeah.
I mean, it was to be expected. That's how you're going to react. But I think what really got me was the stay put part. Yeah. That threw me off because here and just like when I've grown up, there's a fire. You do not stay put. You don't hide.
Right.
You leave.
Right.
So the fact that their policy was stay put, and that policy was based on the thought that these high rises are made to not burn. So if you do stay put, you're better off.
Right.
But the foundation of that is based on, okay, the companies have done what they're supposed to do to make sure that if one unit catches fire, the others don't.
Right.
And if that were the case, stay put would actually be effective.
Right.
I would have followed it because you're not going to tell me that the thing next to me is on fire and I'm staying put. I'm getting out of there. I'm grabbing my dogs and I'm getting out. Like, I'm not staying put.
Yeah.
But to just see the way people put trust into individuals and human beings. But I watched that. And afterwards, I don't know if it's because I watched that or just happened to overlap. But I remember watching that and I remember I got up to go to the bathroom. And it was like maybe like 15 minutes after I'd watched that. I was like, okay, let me go to the bathroom, whatever. It was getting late. And then I just felt this. And it was also after I'd had this very weird dream about a family member who's passed away. He was my cousin, but we pretty much grew up together, lived together for some time. His name was Johnny, and he passed away when he was 14. He had meningitis, and he sadly passed away. And I remember I had a dream right before I watched that documentary. I had a dream about him, that he had come back. And I thought, like, I saw him, I was giving him a hug and stuff like that. But he was not trying to talk to me. And I was like, why are you trying to talk to me? Like, there was so much negativity. And I was like, the last time I saw you was at a birthday party and then you passed away. Like, I'm happy to see you. So after that dream and watching that documentary, I felt this extremely weird and unnerving, like, presence around me. When I felt that, I said, oh no, whatever that is, you need to get away from me, because no one should play like that. But, like, I really don't play like that. Like, if I feel any presence, I'm leaving.
Wow.
Like some evil, I don't know what it was. It was an evil presence that I knew was not supposed to be there.
That's really interesting, because I had a dream. You said that was last night. I had a dream the night before, and I didn't know the people, and my daughter was like a toddler, and I think that represented the innocence of somebody. But two people committed suicide in my dream.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't even know. So it's interesting how you had that, and then I had it the night before. So I feel like there's somebody. I don't know. I'm still trying to understand dreams.
Me
and
too.
I feel like there may be, because I'm like, who, and I think it's a representation of something.
Right.
And I feel like what is happening, what's around. So for you to have that dream and then feel that presence last night is really, it's kind of putting my ear up, like, oh, something's going
happening. And I was trying to explain to my boyfriend, and I was like, he's gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm like, no, he's not. But I felt like I was crazy. But I explained to him, I was like, there feels like there's someone watching me, and it felt like there was death in the air, and I was getting scared, and I was getting anxious, and it got to the point where I was okay, let me go to the kitchen, and I still felt that, and it got to the point where I was looking over my shoulder, expecting something to be there.
Wow.
This is embarrassing. It got to the point where I was running back and forth to the apartment. I was like, okay, turn off the light, run back to the room, because I was afraid something was going to happen. It's one thing to have worldly fears, like, as you know, I can't stand spiders. I'm terrified of spiders. And we were talking about how spiders might be in heaven.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to talk to God about that, because I know I'm not gonna have fear in heaven. And obviously that's like a worldly fear.
Yeah.
But that feeling last night goes beyond any fear of a plane. I don't like planes. I don't like spiders. Those are my two biggest fears. That goes beyond those fears, because I didn't know what was there. And it felt like the most evil presence, and it felt like there was death in the air. And I was convinced. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to make it through the night.
Yeah.
So I went back in, and my boyfriend, he was asleep. And I said, I woke him up. I said, yo, we got to pray, because I don't know what's going on. I was like, I need you to pray with me. And I don't know what's going on. He's half asleep, and he's like, huh? And I'm like, I love you, and I know you're asleep, but please wake up, because I'm about to start panicking. And he woke up, and he was like, get on your knees. And he got on his knees, and we started praying, and he just started rebuking whatever that feeling was. And a lot of times, like, he'll pray and I'll pray out loud too, and we'll just pray out loud together. But I just had to sit there and just listen to him, and then also like tune back in with what I was praying about. And we prayed for, like, I would say like 5 to 10 minutes, which is not the longest, but it's longer than I thought it would have been. And he was just praying for like protection, and praying that whatever spirit that was just to be erased. And after praying, I did feel better. But that feeling last night, I haven't had that feeling in such a long time, and not to that extent.
Yeah, because in my dream, Jalen was young, and I was trying to shield them, like, don't look. But I remember I had a dream with my brother, and he was young, and he was sad, and I was like, why are you sad? And then in the morning, I was like, let me call my brother. So I called him, and he had a dream about me. And so if I didn't have that dream to check up on my brother, I don't think I would have had, it was reciprocated, for him to be able to. So for you to have, I had something, and then I wonder if the two are connected. I don't know. I got to pray about it.
I know. And that's why I've turned, I grew up, or I didn't really grow up turning to prayer as much as I do it now.
Yeah.
So I knew that when I felt that presence, I said, let me just go sit down. But I'm like, no, I need to pray, because that's the only thing that's going to help.
Yeah.
And even with the podcast, I was like, Azariah, I'm kind of afraid. Like, I don't know what I should say, like, with talking points. And I was like, I was getting anxious. I was getting nervous, as anybody would. And he was like, you need to pray. Now, old me would have been like, can you give me a real answer? And that's horrible to admit, but I'm like, I know I need to pray, but can you like give me words of encouragement? But he was like, the only answer there is to pray about it and to just ask God for guidance. So a lot of times I tend now to turn to prayer and to ask God for guidance instead of relying on my worldly distinctions and what I believe in. Because for me to be like, Nala, you can do this, Nala, you got this, it's only going to go so far.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I prayed to God. I don't have that feeling for a long time. It's such a horrible feeling, but it's necessary because it also, for me, I was like, okay, this is also God telling me not to get too comfortable, because I feel like I've been getting too comfortable. I haven't been praying as much. I haven't been opening my Bible as much. I haven't been dedicating time to him as much. Like he's always on my mind. I'm always thinking of him, which you know, is enough to an extent, but it's like I'm not showing, my actions are not showing that I truly want to benefit from God and truly want to deepen my belief in him.
Yeah.
So for me, that was also to him, not God telling me, because that was from down there. That was like Satan. He was slithering his way through, and I was like, okay, I need to not get too comfortable.
Yeah.
It also reminded me that not every presence is from God, and not like the devil does play a part in our lives. And that's something I didn't really grow up knowing. I grew up knowing, oh, the devil, he's down below, he's Satan, he was kicked out of heaven, like, you know, the basics. But at least with my understanding and what I've always grown up as a Catholic, we don't talk so much about the presence of Satan, and that not all blessings are from God. That's not taught. At least it wasn't taught for me. So now that I go to my boyfriend's church, and he's apostolic, and we talk so much more about the enemy and about what he's able to do. And we talk more about discernment. Now I feel like I actually understand more about it. So knowing that I had to pray once I felt that was definitely, I knew it was a step closer.
Yeah.
And I knew that I was actually doing something beneficial by praying.
Yeah.
Rather than just being told to pray and just praying just because you've been told to.
Yeah.
So yeah, now I know not to get too comfortable.
Yeah, I'll pray for you over
Thank
that
you.
one. I remember there was a couple of dreams that you were talking that I had, and one of them was I am friends with somebody, and I had a dream where, this is going to sound really weird, it was a pregnant woman. It was two pregnant women. I was like in court, and so I was advocating for a pregnant woman, and then they're like, yeah, sure, you know, let's help them out. And then there was the other one, and they're like, nope. And I was like, whoa. And I was like, you know, being a lawyer, like this, that, and the other, are we supposed to help out? And they're like, no. And I had a church member, and I was really confused. I was like, what does this mean? And so it ended up being that they're two spirits. And one is being allowed to be in, and another spirit, because there is not being allowed in. So they're two spirits that are asking to be in the same space. And so that was one. And then, oh yeah, guidance. That's what the one you're talking about. So then I had one dream where the person we were in a store. And so the person got, you know, those motorized carts at the grocery store?
Those are the bane of my existence. That sounded horrible. No. Sorry, go ahead. I always get, people always trying to run me over. And then they die and they get stuck, and I have to bring them back when I was a cashier. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I didn't know it.
Yeah, I would have to bring them back, and then they would die, so I had to push it.
Yeah.
But go ahead, I'm sorry.
I thought you were thinking of a shopper and they were hitting people running into you.
That too. PTSD in all different forms.
And so they got the cart, but I was putting it back, and they were frustrated with me putting it back, even though they were the ones that got it in the first place. So then we were walking the mall, big mall, don't know which mall, but it was big. And my legs were cramping, and I was like, I need to walk faster in order to stretch out my legs. So as I'm walking faster, I'm feeling better. And then in the process, people are coming up to me. So like, oh, I got a question, or there's some praise, or, you know, we're like fellowshipping for a little bit. And I look back, and they're still behind me. They're not even attempting to catch up. So I get to a point where I'm outside of the mall, and it's a parade. And all I can think of is the person who's still in the mall. And I was like, I wonder how I'm going to get home. I'm worried about my ride. And then there's
Right.
this big parade. And so
Like a flash mob?
no, it was just
Or
like,
just like people were just standing there?
yeah, it was a genuine parade. Like people standing and then people in vehicles like going like a typical parade.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so I told a church member, and this is what, with what you're trying to describe is if you are following in Christ. And when I was telling about that, that was my confirmation that I was following in Christ
Yeah.
and the other person is not.
Yeah, because they were left behind.
Yeah.
And they were still,
Yeah. Yeah. Because they chose not to catch up.
Right.
And here I am continuing and receiving, being fed, but they're still walking the same speed.
Wow.
So hopefully, I pray that you will be able to, at least God will let you know, like, yeah, you're doing all right.
I hope so, because after that last night, I was like, whew. It was to the point I was like, let me go run my happy behind to the chapel.
Yeah.
Even though it was like, I don't know, 12 something at night or 12 a.m. I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and as you get older, you start to realize dreams do tell you things, and God
They
is
do.
speaking to you. So I remember, like, there used to be this search engine growing up as a kid, and you could put your dream in, and it will give you a meaning. And
Yeah.
obviously, it wasn't based within Christianity or anything. It was just like, if you had a dream about clouds, this is what this means. But now that I'm actually able to connect my dreams to God and to what I believe in, I'm like, there are things that I need to pay attention to in my dreams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You may have some wild ones. I'd be having some. The reason why I restarted this podcast was because I had a wild dream, and I was like, "What does this mean?" And she was like, "You should be teaching again." I was like, "What? Stop!"
Yeah.
I put a piano through a car wash.
I remember you said that.
I was just like, "What does this mean?"
Like a grand piano, right?
Through a car wash, and then as I was drying it, before I could dry it, my old body was on the piano, and so I'm moving my body.
Yeah.
And I'm making fun of myself. And I was just like, look at this. And my body is like, it's very zombie-like.
Right.
And I'm like moving my old body out of the way. Like, here,
Yeah.
have a seat right here on this bench. And I'm like, and I'm making fun of myself. And
Yeah.
I'm like, what does this mean?
Because what does it mean? You know? And it's like, from a worldly standpoint, you're like, this is what this means. But then it's like, let me dive deeper.
Right.
And let me pray about it. Let me read some scriptures to actually make those connections.
Right.
Yeah, dreams they can be very scary and nerve-wracking. But after that, I was like, God, I just want to dream about food and clouds and stuff. Because after those dreams, I mean, I know you're teaching me things, but sometimes I'm like, I need a break.
I understand because I get warnings. I don't want you in my dreams at all. Mm-hmm. The only time I had a really good dream was with Mary Ellen. Remember?
I don't know if I remember this one with Mary Ellen.
Oh, you don't remember? Yes.
Wait, yes, I
Yes.
do. You told me about this
Yeah.
one. Yes.
And I'm like jumping on houses,
Yes,
and I'm
and-
like, Mary Ellen,
Like,
I
life is
can't
bliss.
wait to tell you were in my dream. And that was the only time. But if I dream about you, it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's a warning, it's danger, something bad's about to happen.
Right.
And I'd be like, can I have a dream about somebody winning the lottery?
It couldn't be me. I know. I'm like, can I? That's so true. Yeah, that is true. But I think it's because we become fearful.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to be less fearful and just more aware. But that's difficult to do.
I know.
You have, especially about loved ones.
Yeah.
Especially if they're not even here anymore.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why I'm like, I was like, why am I having this dream about Johnny? Because when he was here, he was just such an amazing person.
Yeah.
And he was like a brother. I mean, we grew up together, we lived together. And just to know that, I mean, he's not here anymore. I know he was called home early for a certain reason. Because to get meningitis at 14 and to, like, he was perfectly fine. I remember we had a birthday party for my younger brother, Max, on Sunday. Saw him on Sunday, perfectly fine. And then he passed away Tuesday morning. So for that, like, to happen, for him to get sick on Monday and then to pass away Tuesday, I mean, it was quick. No one was expecting it. So to know that he was called home so early, I'm just like, okay, he's up there. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. Like, there's a reason why he was called home so early. But then to have that dream, I've always had positive dreams about Johnny. Mm-hmm. But when I had that dream, I was confused. And it was sickening. I mean, no one wants to have that dream. And he had a sister who's like my sister. we call her Spooky because she's born a day before Halloween. So she just finished her freshman year at Howard. So woo! I know, I'm so proud of her. But they were siblings. That was her brother. So I've always have only had positive dreams about him and positive dreams about Spooky. But then when I had that dream about Johnny, I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's also because I watched a documentary and to know like 72 people did die, and maybe I just was so focused on that. And then I was watching other documentaries, people have passed away, to didn't have that feeling. I was like, let me turn on the Testament of Moses.
Yeah,
Let me stop watching
yeah.
these documentaries. So I'm probably going to take a break from watching those, which makes me upset because I just told you, I was like, I want to get back into documentaries and stuff. But
there's
so many different ones,
right?
But I'm a criminal justice major, so it's like I want to watch Dateline. We were just talking about Dateline.
Yeah.
Like I go down a rabbit hole. I want to watch Dateline and watch those ones. But I'm like, none of them going to be feeling presences after, like Dateline can wait.
Well, but that's what I did with Sinners.
The movie,
yeah. That's what I did with Sinners because my boyfriend wanted to watch it, and I knew I had to be at work, the next day. And I was like, I can't do this right now because I knew what that movie would do to me. And so we ended up watching it over the weekend. But I mean, the movie was good. It was great. I mean, I thought it was going to be more horror, but it wasn't. But the vampires were just a representation of a spirit. But it's enough to make you feel uncomfortable.
No, it really is. Like, have you up out of your seat. Especially so you saw it on a weekend. Did you see it in the movie theater or did you see it
at home?
Okay.
Yeah,
I saw it in the movie theater twice.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, it's on the big screen in my face and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, calm down, Nala, calm down. Don't get up. Like, it was to the point where I was like, should I get up and walk out? But I was like, no. Because I wanted to learn from it.
Yeah.
Some people really did feel very, some people said that they couldn't finish it. I didn't get that feeling. Like you said, there wasn't horror, but the connection between biblical foundations and Christianity, and then connecting that also to like post-slavery and the racism that was within, and just like the scene with the Native Americans arriving to the house and trying to warn them, and just there was so much with it. And it's just seeing like the different communities and how they had Asian people within there, and then they had Black people. So like there was so much in there within Christianity and race, and certain relationships, and I think they did a good job integrating that.
They did,
and without creating a horror movie. Now that guy, what was his name? I can't remember. The main vampire at the end.
Oh,
I can't remember his name, but he was creepy.
He was
extreme, and I think it's because of his presence and because of his demonic, like he was creepy, but not because of like, jump scare.
Yeah. Because it was what he was after.
Right.
Like, ooh, I've been craving. It wasn't like the fact that he was craving for the character's blood.
Right.
Like in vampire movies, it was like, I'm not craving for blood. It was like he was craving for his talent. He wanted you to take away his purpose. And I think that's like, but even the father, if people, I'm sorry, spoilers, but even the father in the end, because it was kind of like it goes both ways, because that's the devil's music,
right?
I mean, but it was just kind of like he had a purpose. He felt that he was called to do something, and then two sides are trying to stop him from his purpose.
Yeah, and then it's like when one of the twins was telling him, you're not going to Chicago, like you need to go back home and just be there. Was trying to protect him from those spirits. And then people they disagree about certain things, but for me, music and rap, it depends on what you're talking about and why you're doing it. People, a lot of people think, rap is the devil's music, but it's what you're talking about within it. Because my boyfriend, he does Christian rap.
Yeah.
So it's why you're doing it, what you're talking about, and what you truly feel behind it. And that creates the different paths of what path you're going down. Are you going down the path of greed and all these different horrible sins that can come about with rap music, or are you doing it for God and you're doing it for a true divine purpose? But that I had to see that movie twice because there was so much to unpack. And
there is.
Yeah, I saw it with my friend Kalia, and then I saw it with Azariah, and he was like, I love the movie. And he understood more from just seeing it the first time than I did, because he's his walk with Christ is, he has more, I feel like, probably discernment. He's able to understand things quicker than I am, especially with biblical foundations. But yeah, it's a good movie, and I'm not like a huge Michael B. Jordan fan. It's not that I don't like his acting, but like when people like lose their minds over him, I don't. And people that do, that's cool. Like, that's fine. I mean, to each their own. But like, I don't know. I never do. But he did an amazing job in that. And to play two different characters at the same time, people were like, what do you mean? I remember I said to my friend, I was like, that's so crazy and so much talent he has that he was able to play two different characters. Like, he's an actor, that's his job. But I'm like, you can still give props where they're due. Like, that's a difficult thing to do when you're playing in the same movie, in the same time span, but then to switch different characters. Yeah. You know, like, it's one thing to act as one character for a 2-hour movie. Right. But to switch characters and then they look alike because they're twins. Right. Like, that has to be confusing. Yeah. And they had completely different personalities. Yes. So he did an amazing job. Props to him. He's never going to see this, but props to all of them. But
I agree. I don't want to forget, you're Matthew 5.
Oh, yeah. Because I started to get off on other stuff. I'll be quick.
No, it was good.
It was. Yeah. Well, when we do our podcast with IKEA, there's so many other things we can talk about. Oh, my God. I'm excited
we're going to need more than an hour.
Oh, I know. I'm setting aside like a day. I just, the Beatitudes, and talking about how my boyfriend, he asked me a question, which is, I felt so happy, just happy that he asked, because typically I'm going to him. Like, sometimes I feel like he's like my biblical encyclopedia. I'm like, what does this scripture mean? What does this mean? What do you think this means? But he came to me and he was like, do you think the Beatitudes are for us to follow, or are they a guideline and principles that people that are in heaven or that are going to go to heaven, that they followed? And I was like, I think it's both. I think it's easy to misinterpret the Beatitudes as guidelines and principles that we should follow as people on earth. But reading it, just reading past, I think it's Matthew 5, and I think it's verse 3 through 10, if I'm not mistaken. But reading the scriptures prior to that and then reading them after just lets you know that these are the guidelines and these are the principles and characteristics of people that are in heaven, or that people that are going to go to heaven. Mm-hmm. So they're not just characteristics or principles that we should follow. We shouldn't just be worried about, this is a list that we want to follow. Mm-hmm. So sometimes people just take them and they say, if I do all of these things, then I will be blessed and I will receive victory and I will see God. But these are also just characteristics of those people who will go to heaven, of these people that already are in heaven. Yeah. So such a complicated, everything for me within the Bible is complicated, because there's so many different meanings that people give and so many different interpretations. So I have such a difficult time understanding scriptures that may be simple to others. Even just certain translations, like King James. Like, I'm reading poetry. I'm reading Shakespeare. And I don't even like Shakespeare. I feel like I'm literally reading Shakespeare. So sometimes I'm like, no, let me pull up NLT. And King James is great, but sometimes I genuinely don't know what's being said. Yeah. I'm like, what? Yeah. What? And then I'm so focused on what's being said, I'm missing the meaning. Yes. Because I'm looking up, what does this word mean? I'm looking up a thesaurus. What is the synonym for this? Yes. What's the antonym for this, so I can know what I'm talking about? Yes. But yeah, I find so much comfort in the Beatitudes. And as a kid in Catholic school, we would talk about them and we were taught them, and there's 8 of them. And, you know, we would go through them. But to actually like read them and to understand, there's a certain level of comfort you receive from them. Yeah. So, I mean, I like reading out of Matthew. One of my favorites is definitely, I like Corinthians. 1 Corinthians is probably one of my favorite books, but I do like reading out of Matthew as well.
I love Matthew. Matthew is one of my favorite gospels.
Same.
Just because he put so much information.
Mm-hmm.
Proverbs is my least favorite book.
Really?
I went through Proverbs and I said, I hate this. This is choppy to me.
Really?
It's like, love your mom. Don't do this.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Stop. I wish it was more poetry like Psalms.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I just feel like it's very cut.
Yeah.
Don't go with the women who drink. Okay.
Yeah.
like, can we be more deeper than that?
Right.
And I say that because it's like throughout the entire book, like chapters are different. Like there's more of a story.
Yeah.
Like David put on armor. David couldn't do the armor. You know, it's like, but in Proverbs, it's not like that.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
a chapter is like line 1, line 2,
Right.
line 3.
I will agree. That's interesting you say that because I've found I don't find much comfort in Proverbs. But then I'm like, maybe that's not what it's for. Like
Right.
certain books I find comfort in, and I'm like, maybe this is just I need this to be cut and dry and to teach me. So I try to get out of we're not supposed to find comfort in every single book.
Okay.
Like Romans kind of scares me, and because I'm Catholic, a lot of times they don't pull out of Romans because it says a lot of things that we shouldn't do. And I've been told before that traditional Catholics usually don't like to talk or pull scriptures out of Romans. Don't know if that's true, but I just been told that. But that is very much like, to me, it's telling you what's right, what's wrong. So I don't find comfort out of it. I've become fearful, but it's a good type of fear.
Yeah.
So with Proverbs, I definitely agree with what you're saying. But I was like, maybe it's not that I don't like it. Maybe I just need to like it for different reasons. If I'm looking for a certain feeling, I'm not going to get it from this book. But yeah.
But yeah, that's beautiful that your boyfriend came to you. That's iron sharpening iron.
Yeah. Literally.
Oh my gosh, this hour went so quickly.
I know. It did. I'm sad. I'm like looking at the time and I'm sad. I want to go to my appointment.
I know.
Do I have to go?
But
Like, do they need me?
Well, Grandma, I mean,
Yeah.
whatever you want to do.
I want to be here for more decades. I guess I got to go.
Well, I am Ashley, and this is Nala. I appreciate you. I love you, sister, and I pray for you.
I love you.
And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.